joined early January. I'm here doing actually Project 1, not 2, and it's my icebreaker, and I've termed it Bucketlist.2.0. If any of you have ever seen the movie to which I got my inspiration from, this was the movie that was actually done in 1997, and it stars Jeff Nicholson and Morgan Freeman. So both of these gentlemen essentially come to terms. They come from totally separate backgrounds, and they meet in a hospital room. And the bucket list, as most of you have seen the movie would probably know, is a short list of things you want to do before you kick the bucket. Now, I'm not kicking the bucket yet, so I don't think. I have an unpleasant experience on the way home. But I got thinking, what can I learn? What can I learn from this moving forward? And I got thinking, okay, well, here's the bucket list that they have. We have the skydiving scene. We have to go and get the tattoo. We do copious amounts of travel. We drink really exotic coffee, which is a story unto its own. But some of the key defining points I found as far as at the end of the movie, I thought it was outstanding to try to find the true joy in your life. Something sounds simple, but it's not that easy. So anyway, being a middle-aged male, white guy, I said, I need to take kind of my own inventory of my vital statistics. And then I kind of got, I went to do a Google search, and I got thinking, what's in this list make? There's the bucket list. That's for like terminal. That's kind of, whoa. But then I got thinking, okay, wait, how about like a living bucket list? Maybe something, a code. Wouldn't that be fun? So I got thinking, okay, these are some ideas. I'll take those and run with them a little bit. And then what I got thinking is, well, wait a minute. I've got this great group of Toastmasters folks. They're all like actively involved. How can I get them to call? What kind of an action can I create for them? So here's the vital statistics. We have a male of 48 years of age who's in reasonably good health. Been married to this woman over here who is my better half, who is Jody. I have a 23-year-old daughter who's working as an esthetician, was going to college, still staying at home, serious boyfriend. I live in Lone Tree, Colorado, and have for 10 years. Great, so what? What do I enjoy doing? Well, I like photography, I like camping, I like hiking, I like recreational, like sport shooting, not for like game or anything, but just kind of as a contest, I think. I also enjoy family and friends. Love to do that. From a career standpoint, I work in technology or kind of education technology, and I focus on K through 12 higher education, the corporate market. Then I got thinking, great. So why did I join Toastmasters? Well, for one, is I wanted to be more comfortable in front of a group. Okay. The other thing is I had this technology, and it's like, how do I present with this technology? Not as easy as you might think. So we said, okay, what's available as far as on making lists out there? Well, actually, I found quite some interesting information. I found that Kelvin Research actually has done some studying as far as on folks that do to-do lists. And it turns out that 76% of Americans actually make a to-do list. In fact, most of us make multiple to-do lists. That compares with 78% as far as Canadians. And I don't understand this, but only 54% of the Japanese. I don't get it. So what happens is that we write off about 69% of those weekly to-do items on a weekly basis, which is pretty high. Of the other items that we don't get done, it takes about 22 days for us to get those up. Gender differences. 20% of the men out here, we have a list right here. 9% of the women only trust this. However, there's some other differences here as well. Interesting stuff. So we take away from it. What's the benefit of a to-do list? Well, one of the things it allows us to do is it allows us to stay focused. When we write down our written tasks, it also allows us to accomplish our tasks. What I really like is that it allows us to be able to relieve our day-to-day stress, which is something I would love to be able to do. And it also produces a calming feeling. Overall, about 73% of the Americans that were sampled found to help them reduce their stress. So, what is my bucket list? Right now, it looks like something like this. It involves driving a Formula One race car. How iconic would that be? Great. Skydiving. Some of you have done it. I have not. I want to catch the big salmon, the big king salmon in the lac. I'd like to take a ride in an F-16 fighter jet. I'd like to go to Scotland, and I'd like to sample some scotch. And I'd like to do that with my family and spend as much time as possible. So in conclusion, I want you to become active participants, not only in making daily, weekly lists, but consider the cost to be able to put together a weekly and monthly updated bucket list. Because whether you fill everything out here really is not the point. It's the fact it's a memorization tactic. You can look at it. It'll help you with your priorities. It'll reduce your stress in your life. It'll produce a calming effect. I want to leave you with one thing. It's one of my favorite quotes. And that's when Carter Chambers says, 45 years goes by rather fast. To which Jack says, well, smoke through it, go. Thank you very much.
As Toastmaster, I get to make an executive decision here. In the essence, in looking at the time, Doug, I'm going to have to put a big X through table topics because I don't think we'll be able to squeeze all that in. So, table topics, we'll revisit that next meeting. Next, I'm going to introduce and hand over the meeting to our general evaluator, Scott Garman. Scott, if you can come on up. Harmon, with an H.
Harmon with an H, that is.
Yeah.
And following with the Olympic tradition, rather than the evaluators, I think we're going to have judges today. So, our first judge. Oh, okay, the score there. I see. Peter, you're going to be judging on Mark Eibner's speech.
Have a great crowd of getting bigger and bigger, and there are folks in here who I don't recognize, and as a VP of membership, I am with that, we go up here and do the job.